Good evening to the Savannah Chatham community. I am delighted to open this public hearing to present the proposed fiscal year 2023 budget for Chatham Area Transit Authority. The public meeting today, starting at 6 o'clock p.m., is the second of two public meetings that we have scheduled to present the budget. The board will be either approving or making amendments to the budget as proposed at the June meeting scheduled for June 28, 2022. The proposed budget is a balanced budget with revenues at $30,062,178 and expenditures the same. Revenues consist of course, passenger fares, agency revenues, transit tax collected by Chatham County, grants that receive from the federal government, also special service programs like from the city of Savannah, covering the dock shuttle and paratransit services, funded 100% by Chatham County, and other revenues that we receive. The programs that these funds support are outlined below: fixed route, transportation, paratransit, our marine services, mobility services that includes our call center, maintenance, general administration, and of course, our operating contingencies. The assumptions for the fiscal year 23 budget, we did not request a millage increase, and it is projected that it will remain the same at 1.15 mils. We project a 4% tax digest growth. The budget also assumes raises for our fixed route and paratransit operators, higher starting pay for operators who work for both and serve the fixed route services and the paratransit services, in addition to an administrative cost of living increase supported by a merit increase for administrative employees. The impacts affecting the fiscal year 23 budget, of course, the increased cost of operating supplies and materials, the high cost of fuel, increased cost of property and casualty insurance, gasoline cost increase, and even the cost of employee medical insurance. Our primary focus areas for the operating and capital budget, of course, employee recruitment and retention, competitive pay and benefits in order for us to attract and retain employees. We have to be competitive, and in order to keep the buses out to serve and meet the community's needs, we have to have operators in place. The budget was also focusing on organization restructuring, of course, looking at ways to avoid duplications and to fill voids within the organization. focusing on operating efficiencies. How can we do things better? Customer care, primary objective. Integration of energy efficient vehicles. We introduced the electric vehicles in 2022, and we plan for future expansion of the electric vehicle and other sources of energy efficient vehicles. Connecting community, the upcoming transit master plan, engaging the entire Savannah Chatham community, inviting all to the table. An open community, having a good open dialogue with the public that we serve in an effort to provide more efficient, better, and convenient public transit services. What's new in fiscal year 23? The transit master plan, connecting the community, maximizing the use of our Munis system, that's our financial system. This year's budget was incorporated into that system, as well as human resources management. New in 23 is a stronger compliance division to ensure that we are compliant with all federal, state, and local regs and ordinances. A newly formed planning division focusing solely on transit planning, working with the community. A new training division focusing on training for the entire organization, and an administrative services division to oversee programs and services that enhance the customer experience. The operating revenues by category are shown in this pie chart. As you can see, the transit tax revenue is our largest source of revenue, followed by grants, and then our agency revenue. This graph shows our operating expenditures with maintaining our assets, representing the largest component of expenditures, followed by general oversight administration, and then by fixed route services. Our capital budget for fiscal year 23 is funded by federal, state, and local government support, and also by other stakeholder agencies such as CETA, City, Chatham County, the Airport Commission, and of course, our very own Chatham Area Transit. The budget development process for capital, it includes, of course, managers and directors submitting the capital requests that they need to provide transit services, and it is developed in those requests goes before a transit asset management committee, and are considered, of course, based upon current and future funding. They are prioritized by need, and of course, contingent upon funding availability. The capital plan for fiscal year 23 totals $20,637,825 and are listed and detailed below. Expenditures equaling the identified revenue sources. This completes an overview of both the fiscal year 23 operating budget and the fiscal year 23 capital.
Are there any comments at this time regarding the fiscal year proposed budget for, the fiscal year 2023 proposed budget.
What are the wage increases specifically for staff?
Some wages are, of course, are related to union, and we're still in negotiations. For non-union employees, we are proposing a 3% cost of living. That's supplemented by a potential 2% merit.
Are there any recruiting bonuses?
Yes, the budget also includes retention and recruitment bonuses for FY 2023.
In recruiting, does CAT recruit outside of Chatham County or Georgia area, or is this local recruiting or is it nationwide recruiting?
Recruitment is open. We recruit in transit publications. Of course, we recruit through local channels, social media. So recruitment is really open. Seeking qualified, of course, employees that are willing to commit to moving Chatham area transit.
So, how is Chatham area transit situation different from other metropolitan cities in Georgia?
Well, I think currently, as it relates to the recruitment piece, everyone is experiencing the same challenges. All across the country, agencies have modified routes because of the shortage of drivers. So it's a very competitive environment, and Chatham area transit realized the issue as such, and focus on the employee piece as it relates to the budget. Better healthcare coverage, higher wages, and currently, even